Manchester City turned the Etihad into a fiery arena, where they not only crushed Newcastle United with a 4-0 victory but also sent a strong message. They are still here, ready to fight, ready to return to the status of champions. Amidst the doubts after the bitter defeat against Real Madrid in the Champions League, the talk of their decline this season, Pep Guardiola and his players responded with a performance that couldn't be more convincing. Omar Marmoush, a name still unfamiliar to many Premier League fans, made the whole world take notice with a lightning-fast hat-trick in the first half. Meanwhile, Nico Gonzalez, whom Guardiola calls Mini Rodri, turned the reception of the Magpies into a stage to affirm his value. Newcastle came to the Etihad with hopes of creating an upset, but they left with overwhelming disappointment. Man City, on the other hand, rekindled the flame of victory at the most crucial moment of the season. Right from the opening minutes, Manchester City created a dominant display with incredibly fast ball circulation, high pressing, and calculated through balls. Newcastle, the team that had struck terror into Arsenal, Manchester United, and Tottenham on their own turf, suddenly became clumsy and crumbled under the suffocating pressure from Guardiola's squad. Omar Marmoush was the brightest star in this victory, an utterly flawless performance from the Egyptian player, joining Manchester City from Eintracht Frankfurt for a fee of €70 million in January. Marmoush had to wait until the fourth match to score his first goal. But a door opened, and he not only stepped through but charged straight into the spotlight. The first goal came from a textbook long pass from Ederson, as the Brazilian goalkeeper capitalized on Kieran Trippier's mistake, putting Marmoush in a one-on-one situation with Newcastle's goalkeeper, before the striker executed a delicate chip. Shortly after, Marmoush doubled the lead with a decisive finish in the penalty area, the ball gently deflecting off a Newcastle defender, leaving goalkeeper Nick Pope completely helpless. In the 33rd minute, Marmoush completed his hat-trick with a clever off-the-ball run, bursting into the box at the right moment to receive a pass and finish with a powerful shot, putting Manchester City in complete control of the match. 3 goals in 14 minutes. A performance that reminded people of Erling Haaland, but unlike the Norwegian striker, Marmoush brings to Manchester City speed, agility, and the ability to make sudden runs that they have lacked throughout the season. Marmoush's excellence is just one part of the perfect picture that Guardiola painted. But amidst the whirlwind named the Egyptian Prince, there is another name, quiet but no less important, Nico Gonzalez. When Rodri suffered an ACL injury in September, the void left by the Spanish midfielder was immense, and City struggled to find a worthy replacement. But after the match against Newcastle, Guardiola may have found the answer. Nico Gonzalez, a £50 million signing from Porto, not only played well but played with the class of a silent conductor in midfield. With 114 touches, 100 out of 103 accurate passes, 4 successful duels, and 1 interception, Nico not only helped Man City completely control the game but also brought the necessary stability to their play. Guardiola couldn't hide his satisfaction when talking about Nico's performance, even giving him a nickname full of expectation, Mini Rodri. The Spanish strategist praised, "Nico's presence helps us a lot in 50-50 challenges. He wins them, and we can immediately build up play. Man City has made an incredible investment for the future. He is 23 years old, like a Mini Rodri. This is a huge compliment. But in those duel situations, he is truly excellent. He is still far behind in other aspects because Rodri is the best. But we have the feeling that he will be very helpful in the final stretch of the season with his presence." It wasn't just Pep. Manchester City fans also showered Nico Gonzalez with praise after the match. On social media, one fan wrote, "This is the first time we've played such fluid football all season. Nico is having a fantastic game in the center of midfield, doing the simple things but incredibly effectively." Another commented, "Watching Nico play is a joy. He directs his teammates, always knows where he needs to be, and adjusts the tempo of the game." Another fan even stated, "He is the stability we've been missing all season." Nico Gonzalez reminds people of Rodri with his solidity and intelligence in midfield. Without being flashy or showy, Nico brought the stability that Man City had lost when Rodri was absent. The Spanish midfielder's ability to retain possession, distribute the ball, and support the defense helped the citizens completely control the game, stifling any hopes of a Newcastle counterattack. Meanwhile, Ilkay Gundogan, Rico Lewis, and Phil Foden all had a complete game, fulfilling their respective roles perfectly. Newcastle entered this match with the expectation of causing an upset, but the reality on the pitch reflected a disappointingly poor performance. Eddie Howe brought to the Etihad a team that had won 6 consecutive away games, having defeated big teams with their fast and determined play. But that completely disappeared when they faced Manchester City. His team started slowly, lacking ideas, and with virtually no effective counter-attacking options. The defense, which was considered Newcastle's strong point, repeatedly made serious mistakes, from Kieran Trippier to Lewis Hall, all of whom were thoroughly exploited. Not only were they weak defensively, but Newcastle also showed a lackluster attack, with Alexander Isak having almost no significant opportunities to score. After a stifled first half, Newcastle entered the second half with a slight effort to find a goal. But it was just a faint glimmer of hope on a day when they were completely outplayed by Man City. Man City, although no longer maintaining the furious pressure of the first half, still controlled the game easily, thwarting any attempts by the opponent to build up play and waiting for the opportunity to finish them off. In the 84th minute, James McAtee, a player given a chance by Guardiola, scored the goal that sealed the 4-0 victory after a neat finish. A match where Manchester City not only won but won in a way that couldn't be more convincing. One of the key tactical highlights of the citizens in this match was how they utilized the ball to exploit Newcastle's defense. While Pep Guardiola is known for his philosophy of ball control and short passing, this match saw a more flexible City, ready to change their approach to adapt to each opponent. Ederson, with his excellent passing ability, continued to play a crucial role, constantly delivering accurate through balls, making him an indispensable part of City's attacking artistry. It is no coincidence that the Brazilian goalkeeper holds the record for the most assists in Premier League history for a goalkeeper. And if Marmoush continues to perform like this, Ederson can absolutely add more assists to his tally before the season ends. The 4-0 victory over Newcastle not only brings 3 points but also provides a huge morale boost for Manchester City ahead of the clash with Real Madrid midweek. Following a 2-3 defeat in the first leg at the Etihad, many doubted the ability of Guardiola's team to overturn the deficit at the Bernabeu. But the performance against Newcastle proved that Pep's squad still has a real chance. Nico Gonzalez could be the key to helping Man City control the midfield and limit Real Madrid's strength, while Marmoush, with his speed and intelligent movement, could very well be a surprise weapon alongside Haaland. And above all, Pep Guardiola understands that in football, nothing is impossible. When the final whistle blew, Manchester City fans not only celebrated the victory but also believed that they still had a chance to write the next chapter of this season. If there is one team capable of working a miracle at the Bernabeu, it must surely be Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. The citizens have risen from defeat, have regained their confidence, and now, they are ready to fight to create a miracle. When the match against Real Madrid kicks off early Thursday morning next week, Manchester City won't just be going there to play, they are going there to win.